So for this project, since I'm making size medium, which means I'm going to need 200 grams of 100% acrylic DK yarn, 2 crochet hooks, whereas I'm going to use the 3.75mm crochet hook for bra cups and a 4mm crochet hook for the entire bralette body, a scissor, stitch markers, and a measuring tape. So as I said, to begin, just try to grab the middle yarn from inside like this. To begin with a bra cup, make a slip knot, and you're going to use a 3.75mm crochet hook and chain 20. Once you get 20 chains, now make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. You can mark this first stitch with a stitch marker to keep track of your work. Now continue making single crochet in each chain all the way until the end of this chain. I'll meet you once I reach the end to show you the next step. So into this last chain, make 3 single crochet into that same chain and mark the middle one, because this is going to be the tip of the bra cup. Now you are going to work on the opposite side of the chain. Make a single crochet into this very first stitch on the other side of the chain and continue making single crochet in each stitch all the way down until the end. All the way down until you reach this stitch somewhere down here. So at the end here, just chain 1 and turn your work. This is how your work must start to look like. Next, you are going to start working into this very first stitch from the hook. Make a single crochet into this very first stitch from the hook. You can mark it with a stitch marker to keep track of your work, but it's very optional. So now just continue making a single crochet in each stitch all the way until you reach the tip here where you have marked with a stitch marker. I'll meet you once I reach this part to show you the next step. So now once you reach this part, which is the tip of the bra cup, just remove the stitch marker and make 3 single crochet into that same stitch you have removed the stitch marker, and always mark the middle one because that's going to be the tip of the bra cup, as I said, always. And that's just going to be the pattern for making bra cups, both of them. So now just continue making 1 single crochet in each stitch across all the way down until you reach this last marked stitch. So at the end here, just remove the stitch marker and make 1 single crochet into that last stitch, the one you have removed the stitch marker, like that. And always remember to chain 1 before you turn your work. And that's just going to be the pattern. So just continue repeating round 2 all the way until you're satisfied with the size of your bra cup, depending on the size you are making. So make sure your bra cup is measuring at least 6.5 inches wide. So you must measure the base of the bra cup like this, and it must have a total at least of 6 rows when counted like this. And this 6th row, it's a little bit incomplete. As you can see, these other rows are fully complete and this one is a little bit incomplete, which means you're going to complete with the joining part. So just go ahead and chain 1, cut off the yarn and move on to the next bra cup. Make sure the other bra cup must also have the same endings like this. So when you're going to complete this 6th row, it's going to be completed with the joining part. So this is how both bra cups must start to look like, and just make sure they are both facing the same side. And for this second bra cup, just make sure you have chained 1, but do not cut off the yarn because next you are going to attach this second bra cup to the first bra cup. So just turn them like this and make sure they are both facing the same side before joining them. Next, before we join them, you are going to work back into this row to complete it by making edges. So for this second bra cup, once you have chained 1, remember that turning chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So next, to make the edges, just make a single crochet into this first stitch from the hook, chain 3 and skip 3 stitches, single crochet into the 4th stitch, which means you're going to make a single crochet into this 4th stitch. You just continue doing that all the way down until you reach here. Then once you reach here, just chain 3 and slip stitch into the 1st stitch of the 2nd bracket to join them. I'll actually meet you here to show you the next step. And you can just mark this 1st single crochet stitch here to keep track of your work. Now chain 3 again and skip 3 stitches and single crochet into the 4th one and just continue the pattern all the way until end of this bracket. Then I'll make sure to show you how I'm going to attach this 1st bracket to the 2nd bracket. So at the tip here, just ignore this stitch with a stitch marker and you can pretty much remove the stitch marker if that's what you want. If you don't want, you can just, as you can see, I've just made a single crochet into this stitch before the marked one. So just go ahead, chain 3, skip 3 stitches including the marked one, and into this 4th one just make a single crochet again here. And as you can see, I'm now starting to work downward there the bracket. So at the end here, as you can see, there are 2 stitches left. Just chain 1, make a single crochet into this last stitch before you attach this bracket to the other bracket. So now chain 3 and attach this bracket to the other bracket, and just make sure both brackets are facing the same side before you attach them together. Make a single crochet into this very first stitch for the 2nd bracket to join them. Chain 1 to secure your work, and then add more 2 chains. Then skip 3 stitches as usual, single crochet into the 4th one and just repeat the same pattern you have done for the 1st bracket all the way down here. Bracket. After making brackets, make sure you have switched to a 4mm crochet hook. So once you are done joining your brackets, this is how they must be looking like. So now at the end here, make sure you have chained 1 before you turn your work. Then next, make a single crochet into this very first stitch from the hook. You can mark it with a stitch marker if you want to keep track of your work. Then here, just make 1 double crochet inside this chain 1 space, single crochet on top of this next stitch, then make 3 double crochet inside this chain 3 space, single crochet on top of the next single crochet stitch, 3 double crochet into the next chain 3 space, and just continue doing that all the way until you reach the tip of the bracket. I'll measure once you reach the tip of the bracket to come show you the next step. So into this chain 3 space at the tip of the bracket, go ahead and make 3 double crochet inside that chain 3 space as usual. Then next we're going to make a top strap. To make the bralette strap, then chain 220. Then once you get to 220 chains, now slip stitch into the 2nd chain from the hook. And just continue making slip stitch in each chain all the way until the end, which is actually here. So just continue doing that all the way until you reach the base of the chain here. I'll meet you once I reach this step to come show you the next step. So this is how your strap must be looking like after slip stitching back into it. So next, just make a single crochet into this last stitch here. Just make a slip stitch into this last stitch here. Then try to make a single crochet on top of this single crochet here. like that. Now make 3 double crochet into this chain 3 space. Now just continue the pattern by making 3 single crochet in each chain 3 space, single crochet on top of the single crochet stitch all the way down here. Then I'll make sure as I reach down here to come show you how I'll work between here. Actually, once you reach the end here, you've made 3 double crochet into this last chain 3 space, and you have remembered that you have started with a single crochet. So just try to make a single crochet into this last stitch. Make a single crochet into the first stitch for the second bracket as well. Then try to make 1 double crochet inside this chain 1 space. Single crochet into this next stitch. 3 double crochet into the next chain 3 space. And this is how between your brackets must be looking like. Now just continue the pattern. Make single crochet into this single crochet stitch, 3 double crochet into this chain 3 space, and just continue doing that all the way until you reach the tip of this bracket. Then once you reach the tip of this bracket, just go ahead and make a straight the same way you have done for this first bracket here at the tip. So then once you made the strap, come all the way down here with the pattern until here. I'll make sure once I reach this part to come show you the next step. Into this last stitch, just remove the stitch marker and make a single crochet into that last stitch. Chain 1 and you can cut off the end because next you're going to move to the body of this bralette. So to start with the body of the bralette, make a slip knot and chain 40. Remember to use a 4mm crochet hook for the body of the bralette. So just go ahead and make a total of 40 chains. I'll make sure once I get 40 chains to show you the next step. So next, once you get 40 chains, now you're going to work at the base of your brackets here all the way until the other end. So just attach your strap, your chain into this first stitch. Remember, since you have ended with a single crochet, and that's why you're going to slip stitch to attach your bottom part of your to attach your chain. Then just chain 1 to secure. Make a single crochet back into that same stitch. Now continue making single crochet in each stitch all the way until end of this second bracket. Just continue making single crochet in each stitch all the way. And remember, at the base of each bracket you must have the same number of stitches. So just go ahead all the way until end of the second bracket. I'll make sure at the end to come show you the next step. At the end here, just remove this stitch marker and make a single crochet into that stitch that you have just removed the stitch marker. Now chain 41, because that other extra 1 chain, that you are going to start working into the second chain, so you are not going to count it. So just go ahead and chain 41. I'll make sure once I get 41 chains to show you the next step. Once you get 41 chains, now you're going to work back into the chain. Just make sure you have flipped your work to face down like this, because you are working like this. So just flip your chain to face down like this, as well as your brackets. they were like this, so just flip them also. It's like the wrong side facing down and the right side facing up, if you get what I mean. So next we're just going to work back into the chain by making a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. And you can mark it with a stitch marker just to keep track of your work, but it's very optional. So now just go ahead making a single crochet in each chain all the way until here. Then once you reach here, just continue making single crochet all the way until end of the second chain on the other side here. Then I'll meet you once I reach this side to come show you the next step. So at the end here, just chain 1 and turn your work. Let any chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So next you're going to start working into this very first stitch from the hook. Make a single crochet in there and continue making single crochet in each stitch all the way until the end. And you can repeat this row all the way until you have a total of about 11 rows if you want, which is equivalent to 3 inches. But that's actually depending to the coverage you want. If you want your bralette to be short, then you must only make few number of rows. If you want it to be long, then you must add more rows. In my case, since my part is only going to measure about 3 inches long, which is equivalent to 11 rows. So I'll make you once I get a total of 11 rows, which is equivalent to 3 inches, to show you the next step. So just go ahead, continue doing that until you are done with the body of your bra cap. Then next I'll meet you to come show you the next step. So at the end here, just chain 1 and you can cut off the yarn. Make sure you have a total of 11 rows, which is equivalent to 3 inches wide. 3 inches. Now just chain 1 and cut off the yarn, because next we are going to make the edging part of the body. To do so, you are going to start working in this first stitch here. Remember, you have ended with a single crochet when you made your edging for bra caps, and that's where you are going to start. To do so, make a slip knot and insert the hook in that stitch. Actually, just somewhere here. Chain 1 to fully attach your yarn, then make a single crochet back into that same stitch. You can mark that single crochet with a stitch marker just to keep track of your work. Next, chain 3, skip 3 stitches and then single crochet into the 4th stitch. Chain 3 again, skip 3 stitches, single crochet into the next stitch, and that's just what you are going to do for this entire part all the way. Then I'll make you once I reach this part to come show you the next step. Single crochet into this last stitch. You can mark that stitch with a stitch marker. Then across the side of the bralette's body, because this is where you're going to weave in your straps, you're going to do it differently from this part. To do so, because you're going to create holes, so now just make single crochet in each stitch across without chaining 3 or skipping any stitch all the way until here. At the end, at least you must have a total of 11 to 12 stitches across the body all the way until here. Then once you reach this part, continue doing the same thing you have done on the upper side here by making single crochet, chain 3, skipping 3 stitches, single crochet into the 4th stitch all the way until you reach the other side of the body of the bralette here, the other side here. These stitches indicating which part I'll start making holes for, where I'll be weaving the back straps. So next, I'm just going to do the same thing I've started with. I'm just going to chain 3, skip 3 stitches, then single crochet into the 4th stitch. And that's just what I'm going to do until I reach the other side of the bralette's body. Then once I reach the other side of the bralettes body, which is the same side as this one. I'm just going to do the same thing I've done here, and just remember you must also place the same number of stitches you have placed on the first one on the other side of the bralettes body, and the same thing you're going to do on the upper side of the bralettes body here, which means you're going to place the same number of chain 3 spaces and single crochet stitches, the same number you have placed on the first part you have started with here. And here, in case you have the extra 2 stitches left like mine, so just chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and single crochet into the last stitch. And as usual, we can mark this stitch the same thing you have done on the other side. Now you're just going to do the same thing you have done on the other side by making single crochet across in each stitch all the way until here. Then once you reach here, you can always mark this stitch the same thing you have done on the other side. Just make sure on this side you must have the same number of single crochet stitches as the one on the other side. So now just continue making single crochet, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, single crochet into the first stitch all the way until here. Then once you reach here, I'll make sure to come show you the next step. So at the end here, just chain 1 and turn your work. Once you turn your work, now make a single crochet back into this same stitch you have ended with. Make 3 double crochet inside this chain 3 space. Single crochet into this next single crochet stitch, and just continue with the pattern all the way until you reach the other side here. And I'll come show you the next step, what you're going to do here, because this is where you're going to make holes where you are going to weave in your back strap. Then once you reach this part, just remove the stitch marker and make a single crochet back into that same stitch you have removed the stitch marker. Now chain 2, skip 2 stitches, then single crochet into the third stitch, chain 2 again, skip 2 stitches, single crochet into the third stitch, and that's just what you are going to do until you reach the next marked stitch, which is this one. Then once you reach this stitch, just make a single crochet here and continue the pattern in this other part here all the way until the end of the project. The same thing at the bottom here until the other side. You're just going to repeat the same pattern you have done here until the other side of the top, which is this one, which means on the other side here you're just going to do the same thing you are currently doing here by single crochet, chain 2, skipping 2 stitches, and single crochet into the third stitch all the way until the end. I'll meet you at the end to show you how I'm going to end my work. So here at the end, just make a single crochet into this last stitch, chain 1, and you can cut off the end. Then next you can just weave in all your ends. And this is just how you are going to weave in your ends. Make sure your straps are not twisted, and you're going to do so in this chain 2 spaces you have done on the side of your bralette body. So since you have so long straps, you can make less number of chains to avoid having long straps like these ones. But if you like long straps, then you can just make the same number of chains I have made.